to the world and to the kingdom citizens. I greet you in the precious holy name of Yeshua Messiah, Yeshua HaMashiach, who said in his word, John 8:32, and ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. Hi, I'm Dr. John Curry, Ambassador, Pan-African, and welcome to the Embassy of the Kingdom of Heaven on Earth. If you want to follow this podcast, please subscribe to JC Global Embassy TV 1, ring the bell, and hit the thumbs up button. Today's message is entitled, The Puppet Masters, Who's Pulling the Strings in the Black Community. The Puppet Masters, Who's Pulling the Strings in the Black Community. If we go in our Bibles to 2 Chronicles chapter 7, verse 14, it reads and it says, If my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves and pray, and seek my face, and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven, and will forgive their sins, and will heal their land. This is a strategic scripture as God was giving to his people. And while giving that scripture to his people, he was hoping that his people would fall in line with what God's superintendent was for us to do. Let's look at the job description of the puppet masters and how these puppet masters have been playing black folks for the last 500 years, even during colonialism. You see, the job of the puppet master is to secretly control other people while giving them the illusion of power. To secretly control other people while giving them the illusion of power. In essence, they have no power, so they like to make them think that they have power by giving them little menial power so they can feel like they're in control. You see, as black people, some of us are still arrogant, some of us are still prideful, which have clouded our view of the puppet masters who are pulling the strings in the black community. And the reason why they can cloud our views so well is because some of us in our arrogance still want to run everything. Some of us do not want to come together as a group, don't want to come together as one particular black community. And what we end up doing is basically sabotaging ourselves. Most black folks that claim to be leaders, they want to run it. They want to be the first one to say, I did this, the first one to say, I did that. And as a result, the European puppet master knows that, so they normally would find you out by keeping you divided against each other. And these puppet masters will play one black against another black, or one preacher against another preacher, or play one leader against another leader. And while at the same time, while these black folks are trying to be the greatest to the puppet masters, what we end up doing is playing ourselves. Remember the job description of the puppet master. The job description of the puppet master is to secretly control other people while giving them the illusion of power. You know, they like to tell you that you're their favorite Negro. You're not like the other blacks. The other blacks are just a little bit out of control. They pull you over to the side and they try to make you think you're special, try to make you think you're different, try to make you think you're not the same as these other black folks. In other words, what they try to do is make the differentiation between the houseboy and the field hand. Well, the houseboy always want to do everything he can to save his master. Well, the field hand said, I just pray he died. So the houseboy and the field hand are always competing with each other for what? For the white man, for the puppet masters. Who's going to do the bidding for the puppet masters? So what they end up doing many times, they find preachers, and they used a preacher by the name of Jesse Peterson back in 1778 was the first ordained minister during the time of slavery. And they used him to be able to know what's going on the plantation. So whenever they was celebrating, whenever they was talking about what they need, Mr. Jesse Peterson was an ordained minister. He would go and tell the master, well, sir, they're a little frustrated because the shoes that they have it's not good, and they're walking barefooted. Sir, they was wondering, Mr. Charlie, that if you can let them get them out the field a little bit before sundown so they can have some time with their family. Mr. Charlie, sir, it would be real nice if they don't have to get up that early, but they're really feeling bad, Mr. Charlie. So I just want you to know, Mr. Charlie, that, we have some good Negroes here, but they're just a little frustrated. So what does Jesse Peters do? He run and tell the white master, the puppet masters, about what's going on. And the puppet masters promised this slave preacher to, don't worry about it. We'll tell him, we'll get things straightened out for him and tell him it's going to be okay. Well, see, the Europeans have found out that using black preachers in the church with the timber effect, the 2x4, they found out that works. They want your vote every 2 years. That's why I say the 2x4, the timber effect, the 2x4, meaning that they want your votes every 2 years, and then they come back and check on you to see how much misery you're still in. And then they want your vote every 5 years. And many of us, some of us that have waken up to that, get so happy that the white Europeans or the Republicans or the Democrats come to your church, stop all the movement in your church, and got you looking crazy because now they want to come up and tell you, oh, by the way, we couldn't get that project done for you last 2 years, but we're working on it. So, we just need 4 more years to get in there and straighten things out. And what do? The black preachers go out and get everybody to come vote. Hey, come vote. He going to do it this time. Well, it's been, 12 years? He haven't done it yet, but he's going to do it this time. So they come out, people go out and vote, and they get pictures with the candidates and make them feel good. It's like an emotional high. And they go through all of these things. And in doing that, nothing changes. The 2x4 effect doesn't work. Nothing changes. And every 4 years with no change, they will come back. And when they come back, they'll do the same old thing. Why? Because they have these passive leaders that are doing their bidding. The Jesse Peters, the first preacher that was ordained as a preacher in slavery, and I believe it's 1778. And he was used to manage, hear me now, he was used to manage the plantation, making sure that these Negroes weren't going to do an uprising because they used their religion, they used, in some cases, Christianity as a way to buffer us, to keep us from not expecting immediate change. So again, it is our pride and our arrogance that has kept us in this strong delusion. Well, some of us still think that the white man is going to do the right thing. Let's just wait a little bit longer. He's going to do the right thing. And some of us are waiting on the white man to give us power. Well, know this, power is never, ever given. It is always taken. It seems that some of us have the master complex, meaning that we don't want to do anything unless the master says it's okay to do. We're waiting on the master to approve us, which some of us cannot have anything because if the white man don't say it's okay to do it, we won't do it. And unless we get approval by the European white man, most of us will just be happy slaves living in plantation America, giving our money to everybody but ourselves. So this is where we at here on plantation America, called the United States. It is the white supremacist system is to make sure the puppet masters, as a measure of control in the black community. In other words, they're going to make sure they have puppet masters over your city. And you say, well, we have a black mayor, and, we have black police chief, and, we have black businesses. Where they at? So they like to put black people in control of certain cities when they do not have power. Have you ever noticed that most of the cities that are impoverished, most of the cities that are with drugs and gangs and guns and violence, a lot of them are mayors, are black mayors. A lot of them have black police chief. They love to make the situation look like, well, you guys are out of control because you're not doing your job. When in fact, it is the puppet masters that's pulling the strings and will not allow many of those black leaders, mayors and police chiefs and police officers and many of that to really do what they need to do, because they create a problem in order to maintain the problem. Know this, there is no problem until the Europeans say there's a problem, because they love to create a problem, then come back and solve the problem so black folks can think that they are the heroes. When in fact, the problem was started by them only to be able to get you to think that they're coming in to rescue you. Such as our inner cities. Most of our inner cities all over America. We go to Watts, we go to LA, we go to Atlanta, we go to Chicago, we go to East St. Louis, we go to Jackson, Mississippi, we go to Detroit. We go all over the country, and most of the cities have the same thing. Well, why? And most of them have black mayors, and most of them have black police chiefs. And if they don't, they have a strong population of black folks. Okay, New York City, so all of these things are going on. And at the same time, it is necessary for the Europeans to make sure blacks continue to kill each other, continue to have drugs and guns and all of these things in the neighborhood. This is not no accident. It is not a coincidence. It is directly placed in our community so we can do it to ourselves, and then they'll blame us for we are the problem that we won't solve. Okay, let's look at something else. It is also to keep blacks doing what we are doing and to show black people that it is our fault and we are the ones that are hurting each other and it's not the white man's fault. That's what they want you to believe. They want you to believe if we can just stop killing each other and stop robbing each other and stop this and stop that, stop selling drugs to each other and all this stuff, then, our problem will be gone. They want you to rehearse that. That's called hallucinogenic rehearsal. They want you to say that over and over and over again until you start to believe it, to mind convert. They jam it with the commercials. They jam it on TV. They jam it with movies, showing you killing each other over and over again until you begin to say, you know what? Maybe we are a cursed people. Maybe we are bad. No, we're not bad people. We're just in a bad situation where we got to start using strategic fighting rather than just being the hamster on this perpetual wheel. You see, the system of white supremacy will select certain passive leaders. They're not going to select someone that's going to make real change. They select passive leaders. Then they sponsor them and let them do their bidding, as I said earlier. And when they're doing their bidding, then these passive leaders gets in there and they talk to other black folks and get them to believe that the Europeans are doing the right thing. We just gotta hold on a little while longer. I'm sure you heard that song, Hold On Just a Little While Longer. Well, a little while has been 430 years. How much longer do we have to hold on to? See, so what some of these passive leaders, they like to sell you incremental changes. Now, remember how it was in the civil rights movement? That was 1954. We had to wait, and we finally got our civil rights, and we're voting. What, do we have civil rights? Oh, my bad. I thought they were still trying to stop us from voting. But you're saying, well, we got civil rights, and we can do this here. Well, they're trying to block your vote. They're trying to stop you from going to vote. So as a result of that, we have these passive leaders that is telling us stuff that just doesn't add up with the young folks. The young folks know that's what my grandmama said. The young people saying, well, that's what my papa said. He said that 50, 60 years ago, and we're still here. The young folks they don't want incremental changes. They don't want to be on the hamster wheel, watching everybody else succeed and us as black folks continue to go with no immediate change. Now let's look at something else. This is by design. Get this now. This is all by design to keep blacks on a perpetual hamster wheel of gradualism for another 100 years. It's by design to put these particular things in places and hope that black people won't figure it out. So we spend this another 100 years talking about one day the white man gonna give us power. Hear me and get this. He will never give you power. Power is never given, it's always taken. Well, how do we take it? We take it by loving upon each other. We take it by supporting each other. We take it by doing the right thing with each other. Some blacks are happy with this position. They're happy with the white man coming to rescue them, sending in state troopers coming in to stop your son, your grandson from killing your grandmother. That's what's going on. Stopping your son and your grandson from killing your grandmother. So some of them think that, well, we got to wait on the state troopers to come in to help us and make sure we're doing right. No, as black people, especially black men, we have to stand up on the inside of ourselves and say, no, enough is enough. We cannot be happy slaves on plantation America. We must move from individualism to a collective. We got to stop feeling happy just because we got a nice car, nice house, got degrees, and we're doing good individually. We're not doing good individually until we're doing good collectively. So no longer should we be on plantation America living as happy slaves in 2.0 slavery. See, the Europeans are skilled with what they do. They already know that we're sick and tired of this. They already know that there's an exhaustion level. They already know, but what they're doing is trying to preserve their heritage. They're trying to preserve themselves. So to keep you down means that they stay up. Let's look at something else. The goal of white supremacy is to make black folks think that they're okay in debt. So that's why you can go get a car and your interest rate would be 30%. And you're just feeling good because you're a happy slave. You're not trying to come together with other blacks to do better as a whole. They love us being in debt. They love us living in silos and ghettos. And while we're doing that, guess what they're doing? They're bringing drugs. They're bringing guns and ghost guns and all of these other things to our community. And then they get other gang members to go against each other, and they make sure they got van loads of guns, van loads of drugs, watching us kill each other because we want something for nothing and the bell has not rang. We got to come out of the mindset of genocide. It is black genocide on black folks. Black genocide on black folks over dumb, stupid things. You looked at my girl. You coming to the wrong neighborhood. You got on red or you got on blue or you got on green, all that old dumb stuff. We got to come out of that. We got to come through that. And we got to understand that God has much work for us to do. So they plant guns and they plant drugs in our community as they watch black folks kill each other at the 5 p.m. Channel 5 news. And this is all to destroy any self-sufficiency in the black community. Any self-sufficiency in the black community. They want us to kill each other. Then they want us to say, well, everybody other group ain't doing this here. Well, you're the only sick group. You're the only group that keep killing each other. We are not the only group that keep killing each other. Whites kill each other. Hispanics kill each other. All groups kill each other. Okay? You're not going to get along with everybody in your family. But in saying that, it is also to say that we're killing each other at a more quicker rate than all other groups. Why is that? Because of what you carry. You see, you carry the melanin, and the melanin is the genetic threat to the world because the black melanin, you're melanated. That's what the world is afraid of. And you have to understand that we got to love each other. We got to come together with each other, and we can no longer sit by and watch each other kill each other over dumb, stupid things. Fact about it, we shouldn't be killing each other anyway. So as blacks, check this out. We make more than $1.5 trillion a year. So why are we living as happy slaves, being the poorest group in America? You know, you're happy because you got something nice and you look good, you're feeling good. But what other black person have you helped? What other black person have you tried to uplift? Okay, you're a billionaire. How many black folks are you trying to get out the ghettos and barrios? You know, okay, let's say you got a great company. Do you hire black folks? And if you do, are you more strenuous on them? We have to break through this. We have to break through this post-traumatic slave syndrome. We have to break through this Stockholm syndrome, meaning that you love the master more than you love your own people. We have to break through this, and we can do it. We can break through it and heal and build our own black communities as we move forward. You see, why are we still giving our money to those who enslave us? Answer that question. Why are we still giving our money to those that enslave us? Why can't we use group economic and corporate economics and heal and build our own black cities all over America? See, we have some work to do. It ain't about watching those silly rap movies about so-and-so killed somebody, all that old garbage that you see sometime on YouTube. It ain't about that. It ain't about glorification of how tough you was, glorification of what type of guy you was, how many women you slept with, or how many people you was hanging around. You the man. It ain't about that. If you the man, stand up and be a doggone man in your community and make sure that other young men can be the same men that you strive to be. So they have us on this wheel, the hamster wheel, and we're just running and running and running. And every now and then they let one of us get off the wheel and they put us up and make us look like that we're doing great so the others can come follow. Even some of the rappers have got more sense now because they understand that this was all a game. It's a game to influence young black males to continue to go out and do dumb, stupid things. And the only place you're going to go to jail or prison or dead. Graveyard, prison, or dead. You know, and as long as you're moving in that fashion, then you can't blame nobody but yourself. But I'm here today to tell you that ain't who we are as a people. That's not us. That's what was put upon us. That was caused us, you know, the lack of job, the lack of community, the lack of fathers being in the home, the lack of all of that. That came into a situation where now we are trying to fight for ourselves, but we're fighting individually. We must begin to fight collectively. So as blacks, with our $1.5 trillion, that's what black people make a year. I said a year. I believe it's in the top 10 highest type of economics of any nation. We're about in the top 10. $1.5 trillion a year. And is a fundamental thing for America's prosperity. I'm going to say that again. $1.5 trillion a year is a fundamental thing for America's prosperity. In other words, America needs our $1.5 trillion. For what? What do they need it for? To keep us as happy slaves on plantation America. Did you not know that the dollar in most communities go from anywhere from 28 days to 17 days to 10 days to 8 days? But when they get to the black community, and I know my numbers may be a little skewed, but I'm close. When they get to the black community, the black dollar stays in the black community roughly 6 hours. So that $1.5 trillion that we get, we go and give it right back to the white man. And you're wondering why you're an easy target. We have no stores, have no hospitals as we used to. When I grew up, it was black professors everywhere, hospitals everywhere, stores everywhere, movie theaters everywhere, banks everywhere. All this stuff was just routine. The Europeans realized that they can't make it if black folks are prospering. So what do? You know, they have to come in and forcefully or over a period of time realize that integration is really not bad. It's bad for black folks, but it ain't bad for them. Because as soon as we get paid in plantation America, we will give our money back to the slave master. And then we wonder why our streets are not fixed, wonder why our infrastructure is jacked up, wonder why we're flooding everywhere, wonder why our kids are going crazy, because all they do is put drugs and guns and give you the illusion of control when you have no control at all because you're living on plantation America. But we can change that. We can change that. And how we change that is that we have to decide that no longer will we be giving our monies to America for America to stay prosperous. You see, the white supremacist system puppet master will not allow blacks to heal and build in our black community. Get this now. This is very important. Black poverty is very important to America's prosperity. Let me say it again. Black poverty is very important to America's prosperity. When black folks are doing well, black folks are shopping with black folks are going to eat at black restaurants, black folks are going to black hospitals and seeing black doctors, black folks are starting their own black leagues, black folks are doing everything they can for black folks are loving on black folks. When that began to take place, white people go into a panic. Why? Because when we're doing good, that means that many of them are going to be doing bad. Now, this is fact. This ain't hyperbole. This ain't emotional talking. This is fact, and it's facts all over the world. The same thing happening in America is the same thing that's happening on the continent of Africa. So black poverty is very important for America's prosperity. America needs black people to be poor because when blacks start to build and heal their own community, the whole system begins to fall down. They cannot allow black people to be who they really are. They cannot allow us to be who we really are, because when we do, all other groups will fall. They love our hospitality. They love how we do things. They want us to be happy while living in plantation America. They just want you to be happy slaves, okay? Just happy slaves. Go bounce a ball, go shoot a ball, go hit a ball, go to the games, and you do all this other stuff, but you ain't helping nobody black on a real high basis than yourself. So we need to move out of individualism and begin to move into a collective. A collective is black power. Why? Because we have $1.5 trillion that come in our community every year. And it leaves our communities in less than 6 hours. We are paying for our own destruction. And they love to divide us. Got some of us, well, you're a Republican, you're a Democrat. Hear me now. I did some deep research on the Republican Party and Democratic Party. Check this out. They're both are the same. Have you heard of good cop, bad cop? They're both the same. They're both the same. The Republicans say, well, we're ultra conservative, when they're the biggest sinners running around, and you have the liberals saying, well, we'll let you do everything. And as a result of that, they split us. No longer should we allow them to split us. We got to begin to look at things differently. And when we do that, we can see that we can have the power that we want. We already have it. All we have to do is come together as black people and watch God go to work. So as black people, we must stop letting these puppet masters who are pulling the strings in the black community. We got to stop doing that. They're pulling the strings in the black community. There's some cities that have been down for the last 50 years and nothing has been changed. Water's flooding out the cities. They can't get the pipes fixed. All kind of stuff going on. People still killing each other in certain cities and still robbing each other. Black on black crime all over the place. So what's the purpose of that? Why flood you out with drugs and guns and then put gangs against each other? Why do that? The reason why that's being done is so they can completely fill up the new modern day prison system, which is plantation America. The prison system is set up to put you in and not come out. And if you're not strong, you're in there men on men having sex with each other. If you do come out, it done decrease the population. Why? Because you're not interested in a woman anymore. You're interested in a man. This is all a game. It's all been set up to mess us up so we can keep doing what we're doing. And then the first thing some of us want to do is blame the white man. No, I'm not blaming. I'm telling the truth. He know what he's doing. I've worked in law enforcement. He know exactly what he's doing. And we're going along with it. As black folks, we're going along with it like somehow, well, you know, this ain't right, but yet you're still doing it. It's all a setup. Remember, there's no problem until he create a problem. He create a problem, then he come to answer the problem. When he answers the problem, it's going to be to his benefits. So we put drugs in communities, put guns in communities. Anyone caught selling drugs, anyone caught displaying a gun, you go to jail. Okay, now you're off the street. Okay, now you're in a cell. You're in a cell with somebody that don't have much morals whatsoever. And now you're spending the rest of your life in a cell. And when you come out, your name is so messed up that you can't vote even if you wanted to vote, but vote for what? There's no change being made in the black community. So I say all this with really some agonizing pain, because I've been watching this for a long time. I watched it in Mississippi. I watched it up in Waukegan, Illinois, in Racine. I watched it in Chicago. I watched it in East St. Louis. I watched it in North and South St. Louis. I've seen it all over. I've been all over the place. And everywhere I go, it is the same thing that's happening to our people. Why? Because Malcolm called, he said, we've been tricked, we've been bamboozled, we've been run amok. We have been taught to be 21st century slaves. Here we are now, slavery 2.0. And when you look at everything, what has truly changed? What has truly changed for us as a collective? You know, yeah, we can talk about certain people that did this. Aren't you sick and tired of hearing the first black? Aren't you sick and tired of hearing the first black woman or the first black doing this or the first black doing that? That comes over years. We're talking 50 years, 100 years, and we're still talking first black? Why? Because America is not ready. These white Europeans are not ready to allow us to be who we are in our natural state, our natural habitat as black folks. We're still fighting over women can't come to church with their natural hair. They want you to look like them because the more you look like them, the more they know they got your mind. They got you. They got your mind. You dress like them. You look like them. Especially some of these females, black females. You even putting green contacts and blue eyes in your eye. They know you hate yourself. All of that is an indictment that you hate yourself. So what do? They push them out front. They make sure the world sees those that are hating themselves. And I know that there's somebody that say, well, we can change our hair anytime you want to. Okay, keep doing what you're doing. You will never gain their respect until you begin to come out and be who you really are. So we have to understand that we have been played. We have been trained to self-sabotage. So the black community, the only way we can come out of this is that we have to do what our forefathers did long before us. They were healing. In other words, you have to take time to be with black folks. You know, as always, when you're trying to do something significant in the black community, check this out. There will always be a white person there. And if there's not a white person there, they have a Jesse Peterson there in order to monitor what you're going to do. They want to monitor your aggression level, how serious you are. And if they find out you're too serious, then they come in to sabotage. And when they come in to sabotage, you got to wait another 15, 20 years to find somebody with some heart to get back out there and try to do something different for the black community. But see, we can do what our forefathers did, heal and build our neighborhoods and our community. I'm sure many of you know about Tulsa, Oklahoma, Greenwood District, Black Wall Street in 1921. The business district statistical data must be our prototype. Let me say it again. The business district statistical data must be our prototype, and if we can advance more than that, we should do that. The business district has 600 businesses, 21 churches, 21 restaurants, 30 grocery stores, 21 movie theaters, 6 private planes, 1 hospital, 1 bank, 1 barbershop, and a school system. No longer should we vote Republican or Democrat. We must vote as a black bloc. Let me say that again. We shouldn't vote as a Republican or Democrat. We should vote as a black bloc. For what? For our own interests as a people. We should work for our own selves, not for the system of white supremacy. Pooling our $1.5 trillion together as we heal and build our own black community. The time is now, and we must do it. No longer can we wait on someone coming to pat us on the head. We don't need any more Jesse Petersons running around trying to make the white man feel good by cutting the throat of his own brother. We need black men, black leaders that want to really help our people, that really want to help our people, and not only help our people, but be willing to pay the cost for doing it. I trust that you can believe it. I trust that you can receive it. Our time is now. This is 2023. We're moving forward. We're not going backwards. We're moving forward with the Word of God. We're moving forward with love for each other. We're off the hamster wheel. You've been doing this for so long now. You've been running back and forth. You found yourself marching in protest, and they will join you. But privately, they will vote against you. We must move forward as a people, as a collective of black people, and watch God come and get in the midst, because God knows our situation. If my people will humble themselves and seek my face, then will I hear from heaven and turn from their wicked ways. Then will I hear from heaven and forgive their sins and will heal their land. God is waiting on us. I trust God you can believe it. I trust God you can receive it. I trust God that you will move in it. In the name of Yeshua Messiah, in the name of Yeshua HaMashiach, God bless you. God keep you. Until next time.